So I'm going to my browser and just type git install, and it will take me to the link. It is git scm. In my case, I'm using Windows, so I'll simply go ahead and download Windows. And if you are using any modern system, you should be going with 64-bit Windows. Otherwise, you can choose to have this portable version if you are using a work laptop where you do not have root access or administrative access. This is my personal laptop. I have full access, so I will go ahead with 64-bit. It is really small file, so it got downloaded very quickly. Now I'll go through the installation. It will ask for the admin rights, and I simply go ahead to the next. Because I already had Git previously installed, so it is asking me, I'll say yes, go ahead. And here is the one thing you need to keep an eye on, that you can see few options it is asking. So usually I would say have a icon on desktop if you want, but really you may not need this, because Git is essentially a command line tool, so don't need to do a lot of stuff over there. By default, everything is already selected. I go to the next, and here is one key thing. Depending upon what is your favorite editor, you have to choose it. Right now it is using Vim. So if you are not coming from a Linux background, so Vim could be a little bit challenging for you. So in that case, you can choose either Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code. I usually prefer Visual Studio Code or Notepad++, but you can use Sublime or any case. But for sake of simplicity, I will use it as a Visual Studio Code as a default. Next one, it says usually Git let decide. So Git uses default master branch. Currently it used to be called master, but now in GitHub they have changed it to main. By the way, remember, Git and GitHub are different thing. Git is a software and GitHub is a SaaS tool which allows you to have a cloud version of Git. You can always have a choose, like for example default to be main, but we really don't care here. We are okay with master. And of course, remember, when we do GitHub, you will see GitHub sets everything as a main. And in this one, adjust path policy. So always I will say this is recommended option, so I'll go with this one. And it wraps your path, so it means when you type git, it will automatically show into your command line. Yes, bundled OpenSSH, Windows Secure Library. I'm just choosing everything as a default Windows. And here is one thing here. You should check Git as a as is and Unix style line encoding, because whenever you are doing coding, you want to make sure your code works in Linux and Mac and other platform. If you choose that one, it could be problematic. So always do is as in and commit as a Unix style line encoding. MinGit, this is default option, and we go ahead with these options. For these options are for advanced user, but for now it should be work well with you. And I'll go ahead and install it. You can see now Git has installed. You can choose to have Git bash, but I will not choose. I'll just simply finish it, and it will show you the release page. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch terminal. Terminal is a new command line tool available by Microsoft. You can install it from the Microsoft store. So let me check. If I say git, it means my Git is properly installed. Next thing I'm going to do is I'll type git version. It's showing me the version, and now I need to do some basic parameter setting. Example, I can set a git config. I call it hyphen global, because I want to set up a global variable, which is essentially my username, user.name. And I call my name here, and then I do git config global. So now if I do a git So it shows me all the values are set. These values you don't have to worry about. As long as this is set, you should be good to go. And now if you have any other question, of course nowadays you can do Google or chat gpt, but it's always good to have some kind of a basic thing. So example, you can do git config help. What it will do is it will launch a base default web browser for you, where you can actually see the man page of it. So you can do actually with any of these things, it can give you a man page. That is a very handy command to be aware of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.